Good morning. A little product placement there. This is my Monday morning mug, but I'm filming this on Tuesday morning because if you're tired enough, every morning is a Monday. I'm crooked again. I just straightened myself out. Anyway, welcome. My name is Melinda, and I am here with my November TBR. Now, I frequently do like TBRs and piles of possibilities kind of together. So these are the books I'm definitely going to read, and these are the books I would like to read. This month, I'm just doing books I'm definitely going to read. Because I want to have a little bit of freedom to kind of like mood read some other stuff. Plus, I have a not horrible, but not small stack here. Some of these will be read at kind of the same time, so it's doable. But let me start first with the book that I do not have here yet. I haven't quite ordered it yet. I need to go ahead and order it. But that is Troilus and Cressida by William Shakespeare. This is the Bard Room Shakespeare play for November. I need to get it still. It's about Troilus and Cressida. That is, no, I think I have one other book I have to put a cover up on. But anyway, then I have, as you know, I've been reading Agatha Christie in roughly publication order, one a month, but I have two this month because October got kind of busy, so I didn't get to October's book. So I still have After the Funeral, which is a Perot. This was supposed to be the October book, but we're going to put it in November. I may start it a little bit before November. I doubt it, though, considering everything I've got going. So we'll see. And then the book that is scheduled for November is A Pocket Full of Rye. This is a Miss Marple book. So I will read the back of this. Rex Fortescue, king of a financial empire, was sipping tea in his counting house when he suffered an agonizing and sudden death. On later inspection, the pockets of the deceased were found to contain traces of cereals like Cheerios. I just want to make sure it's not cereals like magazines, but cereals like Cheerios. Yet it was the incident in the parlor which confirmed Miss Marple's suspicion that here she was looking at a case of crime by rhyme. So there we go. Okay, before I go any further, I might be moving weird. I have this huge knot in the back of my back, like behind my shoulder blade, that I have not been able to get rid of for the past couple days, and it's really painful. So if anyone has any tips, let me know. Anyway, those are my Christies for the month. And then I have 3 buddy reads that are going on. The first one I am starting right on November 1st, and I'm doing this with Angelia and Becca, and this is for me a reread, but it's been so long since I read this book that I can't remember anything about it. And the version I have actually has more stuff than the version I read way back when. And that is Love Medicine by Louise Erdrich. You all know I love Louise Erdrich. And so this is Love Medicine. This, I believe, also the Roundhouse is a sequel to this one. I think that's the two that are tied together. I'm not sure. But I am looking forward to reading this with Angelia and Becca. For those of you who don't know, I'll read the little blurb. The stunning first novel in Louise Erdrich's Native American series, Love Medicine, tells the story of 2 families, the Cashpaws and the Lamartines. Written in Erdrich's uniquely poetic, powerful style, it is a multi-generational portrait of strong men and women caught in an unforgettable drama of anger, desire, and the healing power that is love medicine. This is a pretty cover. I like that cover. The next one is a buddy read I'm doing with Louise. It's going to be our first, and this is the next 2. I have dates set for these, but I can't remember what they are. I need to look at my calendar. So I'm not sure if this is actually the next buddy read I'm doing. I can't quite remember, but I have it somewhere. I'll put it down. But this one is Lab Girl by Hope Jahren. I've heard great things about this. I got this book because I was trying to read along with the Naturalist Book Club, and I just got overwhelmed. And so I have these books and I need to read them. And here's one. And Louise said, I want to read it too. So we're going to read it. I know that I think Read by Fred, he says this is his favorite book, but I will read the back of this. Geobiologist Hope Jahren has spent her life studying trees, flowers, seeds, and soil. Lab Girl is her revelatory treatise on plant life, but it is also a celebration of the lifelong curiosity, humility, and passion that drive every scientist. In these pages, Hope takes us back to her Minnesota childhood, where she spent hours playing in her father's college laboratory. She tells us how she found a sanctuary in science, working with both heart and the hands. She introduced us to Bill, her brilliant, eccentric lab partner, and she extends the mantle of scientist to each of us, inviting us to join her in both observing and protecting our environment. Warm, luminous, compulsively readable, Lab Girl vividly demonstrates the mountains that can be moved when love and work come together. So Lab Girl, I've heard good things about that. And the final one, or maybe it's the second one, I can't remember. I need to look that up and get it on my calendar, is with Jennifer at Jennifer Loves Books. And this is The Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne. Of course, A.A. Milne is better known as being the author of the Winnie the Pooh books. The story I have been told is that A.A. Milne loved crime fiction, like Golden Age crime fiction in the Golden Age. So I don't know if it was actually called Golden Age at the time, but what we would consider now Golden Age time fiction, so much that he decided to write one. And then he wrote one and decided he liked reading it better than he liked writing it. So this is the only one he has, but here we go. This ingenious murder mystery, the only one written by the author of Winnie the Pooh, is a tantalizing locked room puzzle and an irresistible treat of Golden Age crime. The Red House, with its delightful countryside setting and genial host, is the perfect place for a summer party. But as the house and its gardens doze peacefully in the heat of an August afternoon, a shot rings out, then a body is discovered in the locked study with a bullet hole between the eyes. Enter charismatic amateur sleuth Anthony Gillingham and his amiable sidekick Bill. That's a great name for a sidekick, Bill. Who are determined to get to the bottom of this rum affair. Rum, like the booze. So, the Red House Mystery. Okay, and then the next thing I have, and I've actually already talked about these books a little bit. I did a video, it came out last week, about Nonfiction November and how I missed Olive's words, so I decided to come up with my own words. And with an initial disastrous attempt, I came up with 4. I will link that video down below. There are some people who are joining me with this, and that's great. And there's people who are using the same idea to come up with their own words, and that's great too. If you're doing any of those, let me know, because I'd love to know and I'd love to follow you. But my words are, the first word is antiquity. And I am doing Pandora's Jar by Natalie Haynes. I will most likely be doing this on audio, or like an audio read together sort of thing. I just got notification from Libby that my audiobook of this is in. I'm not going to read this whole thing because the women in the Greek myths, it's just talking about the women, the mortal women in the Greek myths that you end up seeing. She has another one. They're about the goddesses. I cannot remember the title, but I've read it. So there's this. The next word is journey, and I am going to be doing All That She Carried, the journey of Ashley Sack, a Black family keepsake by Tiya Miles. This won the National Book Award several years ago, and then it was shortlisted in the inaugural Women's Prize for Nonfiction because it released later in the UK. I'll read a little bit of this. In 1850 South Carolina, an enslaved woman named Rose faced a crisis, the imminent sale of her daughter Ashley. Thinking quickly, she packed a cotton bag for her with a few items, and soon after, the 9-year-old girl was separated from her mother and sold. Decades later, Ashley's granddaughter, Ruth, embroidered this family history on the sack in spare, haunting language. And then they talk more about it. So that's this one. This also is for Historathon Q4. And then I have Gimmick. This one was a hard one, but I went back to my girl, the dame, Agatha Christie. I have to clarify that because sometimes when I say the dame, I mean Emma Thompson, but this time I mean Agatha Christie. And her gimmick was, of course, murder. So I have The Science of Murder, The Forensics of Agatha Christie by Carla Valentine. I actually heard an interview with Carla Valentine on the All About Agatha podcast, and I was so interested in that from that interview, which is why I got this book and then haven't read it yet. Again, I don't need to go through this too much because it's pretty clear. It's just going into like the forensics around in the Agatha Christie novels. I do realize there is a distinct possibility this may spoil me for some of the books I have not yet read. I'm about 2/3 of the way through Agatha Christie's books, maybe 3/4. So there's still some titles I haven't read. I do realize and accept the fact this may spoil me for some of them, but that's okay. So The Science of Murder. And the last one I don't have physically. I have it on one of my e-readers, but I'm probably going to be listening to it instead. And this is for the word nourishment. And it's a food memoir called Give a Girl a Knife by Amy Thielen. Amy Thielen is from Minnesota. She left Minnesota, went into the food world in New York, and then came back to Minnesota. She had for a while a show on the Food Network, which I quite liked. And she also has cookbooks. I'm going to pause this video right here and go get one of her cookbooks. Okay, I'm back. So this is a cookbook of hers that I have. This is the new Midwestern table by Amy Thielen, 200 Heartland recipes. So I live in the Pacific Northwest. I am not a Midwestern girl. And also Pacific Northwest food is very different from Midwestern food in a lot of ways. But my mother was a Midwesterner. She was born and grew up in North Dakota and Minnesota. So this is the food I grew up on. And it's probably better than what my mom made. But this has great recipes. Like it does have a recipe for bear in here. Double chicken soup with rolled noodles. But I think you probably have to make your own noodles. That's a lot of work. Kraut, butcher's kraut, fancy meatloaf. I can't even pronounce that. We are going to go ribba. Let's see here. Sauerkraut, red currant jelly, fermented dills. So there's all sorts of things, but anyway, I like her recipes. I enjoyed her show when it was on. I think she still shows up time. I don't watch the Food Network a lot anymore because I have a revulsion to television at the moment, but I think she still shows up on shows now and then. I do get the Food Network magazine, and I know every once in a while a recipe of hers will show up in it. But yeah, so this is her cookbook, but I will be reading her memoir, Give a Girl a Knife. So those are my words for nourishment. Again, my nonfiction November words. If you would like to use them, you are more than welcome to. If you would like to just go and find your own words, that's great too. I just always loved it when Olive did this, and I didn't so I did it for myself. And because Olive has, she did nonfiction November for 10 years, which is a very long time, and we were very grateful for it. And I understand that it was a lot of effort, and that I get it. But I just let her know that, and my computer's making noise now, that we will carry on with nonfiction November. Anyway, my words are antiquity, journey, gimmick, and nourishment. So this is my TBR for November. I don't know what other books I'm going to be. As I said, 2 of these books are going to be on audio. There's some buddy reads, Troilus and Cressida. What I do with my Shakespeares is I read like 1 act a day. So that can be fit in with other things. So it kind of looks like a lot of books, but and Agatha Christie goes quickly, these sorts of things. It's not bad. I should have time to do some mood reading in there as well. Anyway, do you have anything on the docket for yourself for November? Let me know. I'd love to know what you're reading for nonfiction November if you partake in that observance. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you would like to play the emoji game, you don't have to. I don't know. I'm looking at this. It's like food. I did a food one. Why don't you leave me a flag of the country or area of your favorite food, culinary, your favorite kind of food, like Italy for Italian or whatever. So you have to think. You have to put your thinking cap on about this one. And if they don't have a flag, let's say you really like Tex-Mex, do something that kind of, I don't know, you could do Mexico's flag, or you could do a Texas thing or something. I don't know. Something that denotes your favorite cuisine. There you go. Okay. Anyway, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.